to be here in person and virtually with y'all. Um, it's been a hell of almost 2 years, right? And as like many folks, there's been a lot of really beautiful things and also a lot of really heart wrenching things happening for and around me, as well as um, really trying to push myself to take care of myself better, like many of us are. And in doing that, I have reclaimed and uncovered things that I have kind of always been doing, but just for myself and by myself. And that is what this is a manifestation of. So I am I've been in the work of wellness and sharing yoga in space for over 10 years at this point, and I own a small yoga studio in Butler, Tarkington called Haven that is no longer active. It is on an indefinite hiatus is what I've been saying, because who knows, maybe after we can come up for some air from this thing, things might shift. But for now, I needed to let things settle. And I am also in school for music therapy to expand my wellness and sound work. One of the things that I absolutely adore about using music and sound as tools for well-being is that the barrier to entry is pretty low, because even if we don't like the same music or the same sounds, almost everyone uses sound in a way to help them navigate the world. And also sometimes sounds can remind us of things that we absolutely don't want to listen to or be around, right? And so it's a really powerful tool that doesn't really have barriers for financial access, barriers for physical access, in a lot of ways, barriers to mental aspects, because the interesting thing about music and sound is that, yes, we hear it, but we also feel it. So even, if hearing an experience doesn't actually connect with you in the ways of like hearing, or if you use different devices, you can still feel the vibrations, and oftentimes you can still hear some semblance of sound. So I say all that to say I am so grateful to be here with y'all and with y'all. And today we're going to rest and we're going to breathe some. We're going to listen to some sounds. I really appreciate y'all for trying something new. If you haven't, I don't know what this sound stuff is, but we're going to try it today. I invite you to try it on. I also invite you to, there might be some sounds that maybe don't sound so beautiful off jump. And if that happens and you feel a little activated, I invite you to take a deep breath and see what's there. If it's just, oh, I'm uncomfortable, so I'm trying to, right? I want you to think about how that reflects in your entire experience. Not that that's a read or anything, but I just want you to think about the ways where you try to shield yourself for things where you're uncomfortable, but you're actually okay and you're resourced. And if it feels good, like lean into it. And if not, take care of yourself. If you need to get up and go out of the room, for those of y'all that are here, if you need to mute yourself, then you can definitely, or mute me, you can do that as well, and take some breaths. The other thing that I will say for the people who are online is that it is helpful to have headphones. I think we put that in the description, so that way you can have a more balanced, immersive experience on both sides of your ears. If you don't have them, that'll be fine, but sometimes headphones are a little bit better to plug in for something like this. So, with that being said, I'm going to invite everyone to find the most comfortable way that they can be in their physical body right now, knowing that probably will change as we settle into this session. And if that does change, feel free to move and adjust. Be gentle with yourself. Don't do that, oh my gosh, I can't lay still perfectly flat. This is why I don't do that. Am I the only person that voice comes up? Yeah, it's cool. Be gentle with yourself and just adjust and be like, I can support myself a little bit better here. Okay? Good. Take a few more moments, settle in. A little reminder, sometimes we make ourselves really physically small and we don't have to. Maybe take up a little bit more space than you're used to. Maybe let your hips move a little bit wider, your feet move a little bit wider, your shoulders roll back, maybe your arms kind of go to the sides. If you're sitting in a chair, then maybe you let the back of the chair support your spine. Maybe you uncross your legs. Good. Now, I'm going to invite you to begin to take some deep belly breaths. Deep belly breaths. So letting your belly be really soft. And your inhale expands your belly up towards the ceiling or maybe out to the sides. And then as you exhale, maybe pulling the belly button back toward the spine, releasing all of the air that you can in this moment. Good. Keep breathing just like that. Deep belly breath, inhale. Deep belly breath, exhale. Maybe about 4 of those on your own at your own pace. Take up as much room as you need to take here. As you take these last couple of breaths, maybe you let the shoulders roll back a little bit more and take up a little bit more space even. Beautiful, y'all. Now continuing with that deep belly breath, we're going to exhale it out of the mouth, okay? So take a really deep inhale through the nose, belly is soft. And then as you exhale, making a sound. And it can sound like a bunch of different things. It could be like a ha, a ah. Maybe thinking of like fogging up a window if it's cold outside or a glass. And just take a few breaths just like that. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out of the mouth. A few more. Good. One more deep breath, just like that. And start to let your whole entire body settle into the floor. All of the places that are connected to the earth beneath you, whether it's your feet, your ankles, your hips, shoulders, hands. And as you continue to breathe in your normal and natural pace, let your body get heavier in each of those places. And relaxing deeper into the floor or the ground beneath you. And as you do that, noticing that the ground or the floor beneath you actually has to reach up and support you to hold you in place. Remembering that at any time during this session and even outside, even when we feel like we're being held together by duct tape or we're falling apart, we're always being supported. We're always being supported and we're never by ourselves. And I invite you for the next few moments to continue to let your body and breath mingle and connect as you start to hear different sounds. Start to let your breath deepen. Coming back to your deep inhales and exhales. And starting to feel the clothes draped over your body. Maybe start to gently see light filter in on the other sides of your eyelids. And as you're ready, you can start to bring subtle movements to your fingers and to your toes. Maybe rolling the wrists and ankles or moving the head from side to side. This is a great time to do that good morning stretch where you stretch from your fingertips to your toe tips. Bringing little movements to gently wake the body up. And as you're ready, you can make your way into a seated position. If you want to curl up in a ball to get there or roll to your side or take your sweet time, that is also a great option. And I'll meet you here when you're ready. Beautiful. I am going to bring my hands to the center of my chest personally. You can bring your hands wherever feels relaxed and comfortable for you. But I usually always end experiences and sessions the same. I want to give honor to those from whom these practices and this work come from, to those who have come before us and those who will come after. May you be happy and healthy and free. May you know peace. May you rest. May you move through the life with just a little bit more ease. Thank you so much for being here with me, each and every person here physically and each and every person there virtually. I truly appreciate and honor the space that you all have allowed me to hold for you today. Much love and much peace.
All right. Thank you, Charlie, so much for that and for spending time with us this morning. We appreciate you so much. We are going to do some Q&A this morning. So I have a couple questions from the chat online, and then we're also going to open it up to people we have in the audience as well. So I'm going to start with this one. You devote so much of your time and energy to helping others care for themselves. Who helps take care of you, and how is that done?
That is a really good question. It takes a small army because I sometimes am not the most receptive to needing help. I'm sure no one else can agree with me on that. So I would first 100,000% say my partner Britt, who is here today. Britt is my roadie and my favorite co-pilot, and always is trying to help me remember to take care of myself when I forget. My parents, for sure. My sister in her own way, bless her. And Paisley, my fur baby, she is always glued to me. I stubbed my toe really, really bad, enough to bleed. And she was like licking my foot that was hurt. I don't know how she knew it was that foot. So pets, and really, really close friends who I consider family. There's a laundry list of them. A few of them are here today, and a few of them are here virtually. So, and I appreciate everybody, because I'm really not the easiest to be like, Charlie, when's the last time you took a breath?
I feel that in my bones too. You seem to be an endlessly curious person, for sure. How do you go about learning new practices and techniques?
Ooh, I don't really have a choice. My brain just like goes on tangents, and I have learned that if I try to stop that, then it's usually more harm than it's worth, and also that it will probably circle back. So I try to like go with the thoughts or go with the ideas, or I try to write things down. I'm not going to officially say journal because it's probably not organized to anybody but myself, but I have a whole bunch of like brain dump digital notes and, you know, little notebooks and everything like that to come back to later. So I try to let my mind wander because it's going to do it anyway. So yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to ask a couple more, but just go ahead and raise your hand if anyone in here wants to ask a question, and we'll jump in. There was a note about what would be the best way to get in touch with you to either attend a future event or if you do private group events.
Yeah, so I have been trying to remanage my time. That doesn't make any sense. So like my life was moving very, very, very fast for at least the past 3 years. A couple months ago, life kind of made me stop to take care of myself, and so I've been slowly doing more and more things. I have sat down with that in recent times, and am going to start opening my books again for doing some private sessions, one-on-one. So they're like basically a curated sound experience for you. Sometimes I'll play instruments on people, which you can't really do in group settings, use other tools, and then in group opportunities, people also can just email me. So my website is my name, charliered.com, and there's a little inquiry form on there for any of those. You can let me know. And also, if you want to, you can sign up for my newsletter, which I should be sending out in the next week or so, with a link to be able to schedule private sessions if you want to do private sessions. Yeah.
Excellent. We'll be sure we share that in the chat too.
Thanks.
All right, we have a question here.
Ebony.
Hi.
Hi.
Mine is more of a comment than a question.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to tell everybody when you do open up your books, if this is something that they're interested in, to do it. Because I did sessions with Charlie over the summer, and it literally changed my life. And I'm immensely grateful, and it's something that I wish everyone could experience, the healing power of sound.
Thank you, Ebony.
All right, I'm going to repeat that a little bit so that the virtual audience can hear it. But Ebony, who is in the crowd here, mentioned that she had really a life-changing experience with Charlie doing some of the work. So we are all grateful for that, for sure. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it.
You try to make me black girl blush.
Yeah.
I'm curious, since you're taking music therapy classes, what your vision is for the future.
I'm going to repeat it real quick.
Okay.
The question was what your vision for the future is with your music therapy education that you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in like how sound affects like our physical and mental experience. And so being in school to like read research studies and like learning about different interventions that people are using specifically for targeted groups is like right where my brain is most of the time anyway, except I didn't have to plan the curriculum, so there's that. But moving forward, I am always about like actual everyday folks and being well. And that working with isolated groups and populations is deeply important, especially for specific things that are happening with people. But I feel like wellness in general is not democratized at all. And that if, you know, a small group of people can breathe a little bit better going into their Friday before Thanksgiving, then I feel like that's big enough ripple for all of us to be a little bit more well. And so if we continue to amplify that in some really intentional ways, using sound, maybe during a session or even after a session, or with different things that you learn about your relationship to sound after to be able to utilize, that I feel like that's kind of like me being a raindrop in an ocean and letting the ripples continue to go out. So I want to continue to be in a space of like community and like democratizing wellness, but using sound and breath as a tool.
To key on that a little bit too, one of the things I have heard you say many times is honoring those from which these practices came. Can you speak a little bit on the importance of that and why that is such an integral part of the way that you do these experiences?
Yeah, we did not just land here by ourselves, truly. And so specifically around wellness practices, communal practices, sound practices, they are informed by community, have been put together by, you know, groups of people, individuals, painstakingly like collating knowledge and everything to do that. And so even if I don't know people's names, I try my best to say, this was reflected to me from another place, or if I can say their names, then I will, or reference who I know taught me, that was taught by, because lineage is deeply important. So I feel, and it's not just like in a context of yoga, but just like I am my mother's daughter and I am my grandmother's granddaughter, honestly, which y'all, anyway, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. So, but it is deeply important for us, if we want to think about it in like an educational standpoint, to cite our sources, because there have been so many people who have been disempowered, disenfranchised, and not receiving the flowers or the monetary supports that they should have because someone else took work that they did and it didn't reflect back to them. So those are some of the reasons why it's really important for me to try to honor those as best as I can.
Thank you for sharing that. It's important. Okay, last one. How do we carry this feeling through a busy holiday season with some challenging personal relationships, family relationships, and some of those dynamics? Any advice or guidance as we head into this season?
So I have a couple. The first one is remember your breath, right? It doesn't cost any extra things. You don't have to go anywhere. Sometimes it's nice to, but which I'll talk about in a second. But like, just take a moment and take a few deep breaths. Feel your feet on the floor as a start. The other thing is, if you can remove yourself for half a second, like take a step outside, or if it's a busy like family situation, I don't know how big you're, like I have a really big family. Sometimes the only place you can be by yourself is in the bathroom. No, anyone else? Maybe you go to the bathroom and take a few deep breaths in there, or like feel some cold water on your hands. So different things to bring you more present. And so usually your senses, like feeling cold things, feeling the air, or your breath are really important. The other thing is I really like playlists for different things. So if you want to like hype yourself up to be around your family, then like make a hype Thanksgiving/holiday playlist. Or if you need to calm down, maybe there's some smoothing music that you can maybe listen to in headphones while you're cooking. So those are some examples of things that could be helpful to kind of use.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think bonus content, we need you to take us through some of this stuff piece by piece.
Bonus content.
Not now, but maybe as a web add-on. But I'm so intrigued with everything.
Some B-roll. Yeah, I was setting stuff up, and Ryan's like, this is beautiful. I was like, it's not even set up yet.
Oh, man. Welcome to my brain. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I know everybody's got stuff to do today.
Yeah.
Big thanks for leading us through this. It's such a wonderful experience.
Thank
you to the people here. It warms my heart so much to share space with you. the proximity to being, to sharing space with humans and being in proximity to one another is a really important part of Creative Mornings, and it's just wonderful to have even a few people here today. So thank you so much, and thank you to our team for making it happen this morning. Thank you virtually.
Thank y'all
for hanging with us during some technical difficulties at the beginning, but thanks for rocking with us. We're going to leave the chat open for a little while, and thanks for showing up, and I hope I see all your beautiful faces next time. Thank you.